Hey there, Bec and Nic here. Welcome to the conversation. We're so grateful you're here.
We met through business and became best friends through a shared passion to help women earn more and give more.
We are the founders of Women, Wine and Wealth, have global businesses helping women, and are your hosts of The Spill.
The Spill connects you to real conversations for women, by women in a way you haven't heard before. So grab your wine and let's spill. But for those joining us for the first time, for those rejoining us, because you can't get enough, you're welcome. The Spill, this is a space where it's real, it's honest, it's funny, ideally conversations, and where we can just say things that, things that people are thinking, but they're not saying. And we want to spill the truth. We want to spill truth. We want to spill inspo. We want to spill guidance. We want to spill a new way of thinking about things in these conversations. That's our goal. So laughs and explicit language is guaranteed. And as we always say, if you're not in the party that likes a few laughs and explicit language, you probably shouldn't be at our party. So we are going to dive straight into this. Bec, kick us off with our probably favorite segment, fucking good manners. Let's get into it. What are we talking about this week?
Oh, I'd love to, Nic. So the subtitle of this is "Don't Take All the Fucking Credit." Worse than the bilious, self-promoting numpties are the group of swinging dicks who feel no shame in taking the credit for other people's efforts. The ones who reluctantly help out a little and then exaggerate their role in proceedings once it's been deemed a success. Get a grip of yourself and give praise to those who genuinely deserve it.
So it was funny when Bec and I spoke, we're like, what do we want to talk about? And I remember you read, there was one line and I went, oh, let's talk about it, which is exactly this, how you see all of this self-made conversation. I call it the self-made bullshit because it is. And usually if I go to someone's Instagram profile or their Facebook and they're like self-made millionaire, self-made six-figure earner, self-made something, I just want to hit unfollow straight away because there's zero acknowledgement of the whole journey. I think we can all agree no one's truly self-made. Yes, it's our responsibility and always effort and never take away from the actions and the sacrifice and what it's taken. But I have not got anywhere by myself. I don't know if you have, Bec, but no one is truly self-made. There's so many experiences, there's so much knowledge, there's so much wisdom, there's so much contribution from other people, their experience, their genius, their expertise, that I just find it funny when people say I'm self-made. And I get where they're coming from, but let's loosen up a little bit and get honest. No one's truly self-made.
Let's get a little, and it's funny when you say that. Like, clearly we wouldn't even be doing this because I would not have, first of all, had the courage, the brains, the what's another word? See, help me out here. What am I trying to say? Because I couldn't have done this on my own.
The Spill isn't the Spill or any project that we do. And if we're doing it together, it's not going to be what it is if we're doing it alone.
Because you're always there to pick me up when I need to. And first of all, doing things alone isn't fun, and it's not smart, because I believe, like, if I succeed in anything I do, I don't want to be there on my own. I want my favorite people by my side sharing in that all together, because it was kind of like in basketball, as a professional basketball player, I could not have been and got to the level that I did if I didn't have a personal trainer, a skills coach, nutrition right. So no matter what we talk about, whether it's business, sport, life, parenting, it actually applies to everything.
Yeah. I'm just picturing you on the court then. You look great, by the way, in my mind. But it's also, you couldn't do it without the team. And sometimes there is the star of a game or a show or something, but they don't become the star without the help of everyone around them. Like they're not their greatness and their genius without everything contributing to it.
Saying that, Nic, sorry, Michael Jordan just came into my head and watched the documentary. Like, he has been deemed as the greatest of all time, but you go back and watch that documentary, there was so many things spoken about along the way. Same thing, team members. If he didn't have the right coach, the right team members, there's no way he would have been set up on that platform if he didn't have the right support around him. So it goes to everything.
So true. And the other thing is, and I guess why I said Instagram and social media, because social media also becomes self-promotion. And there's kind of two sides, because I'm a big believer that, you know what, there are so many incredible things that if you are doing great things, you're achieving great things in your career, in your business, in your vision, in whatever you're creating, if you're making millions, if you're giving back to, like, if you're doing just epic stuff, that should be spoken about, because otherwise where do people hear it, and where do they open their mind of more possibility? Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's like we have this bubble of awareness, and so we're only aware of what we know, and until someone pops that bubble and go, hey, it could be bigger, and then, hey, it could be bigger again. So I believe in self-promotion in that way, because I'm big on it. It's like, if we don't share the story, share the experience, show what's possible, how do we expand anyone else? But I guess it's coming from the space of, are you self-promoting to serve your ego, or are you self-promoting to serve a greater good as well?
And you even speaking then, there's two types of people, and you can fall in either category. Totally, if you're watching, totally up to you. But your bubble could be popped if you did things properly, the right way, and not like a dickhead. And as you were, well, it's true. You were speaking, Nic, and I'm like, it's so, you can see it happening so much, especially social media. We're going to be talking about that. But if you're a good person, you do good things for the right reason, you work hard. Nic, I'm going to read a quote quickly. You didn't know this. You sent me a quote the other day, and it said, become a ghost, fuck attention, just hustle, read the caption. It fits beautifully into what we said, because people are only wanting to do things for recognition or validation, I believe, when they're not fulfilled in other areas of their life. And, you know, with what we're doing here, yeah, it takes courage and guts, but it's not fun if we're doing it on our own. And we're not idiots.
We're doing it for ourselves.
For ourselves, that's exactly right. Because
we do it for a glass of wine every week during the week. Valid.
We're going to have to make it weekly, which I'm totally fine, and hanging out on a Wednesday with you.
Yeah, we're going to have to make this weekly.
From us more, we totally get it. And you go.
Well, I was going to say, I think that that kind of, it sums up fucking good men. Acknowledge the people that contribute to the outcome and to the results that you live and the results that you get to share with others, because I just don't believe any of us get there alone. And like you said, and talking about that, ladies, what we wanted to share with you as well, and it's so relevant, is we just released the tickets last night, the best event of the year about to come, which is the Confidence Edit. And the last few weeks have been big. There's just always more than you think to go into it. You know, it's just like, yeah, let's throw together an event. Like, we get some really cool speakers, we hire out a venue, and voila. And it's just not the case. There's late nights, there's extra stuff that is newness to you. Like, you know, with every next level you want to go to, there's a newness. And with that newness is the unknown. With that newness is, oh, this is uncomfortable. I don't really know how to do that. I've kind of got to work it out. With that newness is putting in extra effort and hours, because you're probably not as quick or as good at it as someone who always does it. But what's been so beautiful, I think, Bec, in this experience, in doing this event, we are collaborating with people where they do know their shit about putting together events. We could not. This event, I know women are going to walk out of there just, as we're saying, their souls stirred, and they're gonna hear something that's literally going to change their perspective, which changes their actions, which changes their world. But you and I, we can't do that event ourselves. It's not our genius. It's not what we do. We've needed to bring in women who understand how to bring in a tone of voice and a message. We've needed to bring in Margot Parker, who is the radio princess, because she knows how to work with a room and connect with that room and bring out the goodness. We don't. And I think that just shows that this event isn't self-made. This event isn't self-made by Women, Wine and Wealth. It is what we believe in. Who do we need to collaborate with to create?
And it's not fluffy. It's not going to be like, oh, come and have a glass of champagne and sit and have a laugh. Like, you might laugh, you might cry, or you might be offended. We're not sure, but that's the whole reason for this space and this event is, I don't even know why we got talking about the event, but I mean, how can we not? We've already sold out our first level of first VIP tickets, which tickets went on sale last night. So we're so excited. We actually, hence the reason for the glass of wine today, because it's also celebrating little things along the way. But also, you know, we've got so many people to thank when that event's over. We could not, Nic, like, we can speak on this now, even though we did an event last year together, and I mean, it was amazing at the end, but far out, it was a shit show all the way between. We didn't know how much money we were spending. We didn't know who was saying what. And it's not about the final photos and the videos of the event for us, because we have a bigger picture. We've got a bigger movement, and it might take us 5 or 10 years. We're here for the long haul because there is such a space for, I was just thinking before when we spoke earlier today around how you treat the janitor is how you should treat the CEO at the same time. How you leave your hotel room when you check out, your name's on that hotel room. We want to speak about all the little things that actually make up everything at the end, because when we're gone, because we're all going to be gone one day, it's not about how you want to be remembered. It's what the cool shit you did along the way, the things you found out about yourself, the uncomfortable stuff. I was talking to you the other night, Nic, about the event, like trying to just set up an event, the Eventbrite tickets online, and I see you as the most intelligent, sophisticated woman ever, and you were struggling to do that purely because it was new. But doesn't mean like, and that's why we've got leverage, and that's why we can call on so many people. But when you're at the event, just know that when we sit in those chairs, we did not do this shit on our own.
No, and I think that the thing is that we can't wait to acknowledge everyone who has put it together. And that's what excites me is acknowledging all of the speakers and the contributors and the people behind the scenes, because they're the ones that have put it together. And it goes to, like, if you're in this group, just know, and you will get to know through what we share and the coaches who contribute and everything that we do, that collaboration is literally our ethos. Like, everything that we create, if it's not a collaboration, we don't do it. Yeah. We don't do it. And the reason why is because I believe that everyone has their own genius. And if we try and go it alone, it can't be the magic of going it together. Like, it can't be. It just can't. You can't possibly tap into it. And so, and one thing that we do, and this is maybe a take home, especially if you're in business, if you're not in business, it doesn't matter, but we have a formula for our collaboration. So there's things that we go tick, tick, tick. Does that work as a collaboration? Yes, it does, or no, it doesn't. And the formula that we follow, so step 1 is you have to uncover your gifts. So if you're going into collaboration, whether it's, within your work, within a business that you have, creating a project, an event like us, uncover everyone's gifts. What is it? Like, what is Bec so great at? What is she going to be taking ownership and responsibility for? What will Nic take care of? What would this person? Okay, what other genius do we need in here to make this full circle? So we have to uncover gifts. Step 2 of the formula is different skills but aligned values. So someone might be the most gifted person in the world, but if their value doesn't align with yours, the values of that event, of that project, of that business, it's a misfit. So scored 0. But you might have different skill sets, but if your values are aligned, it's a tick. And then the third thing is does this collaboration enhance the experience of our customer, of our client, of our audience? If we collaborate, will it enhance their experience? And if we tick in all 3 of those boxes, it's like rock and roll. Let's make some shit happen. And that's what I'm excited about, because I know that's what this event will bring as well.
Even on that, Nic, you were talking about collaboration with different businesses, and we are even at the point where we've said no to some people. Clearly, they might have the following, they might look the part, but if they do not align in values with what we are pushing forward to, that it's just a no. Like, it's going to be,
Yeah, and it's okay. It's so okay. It's actually like there's power in our no, and because there's power in our values and your values and everyone's values. Yeah, 100%. Okay, well, we can't wait. So get on and grab your ticket so that we can see you there. But let's move on, Bec. What are we diving into?
We are going to. Are we wrapping it up with am I going to do the
I
quote
think
now?
I did that with your quote, and I don't know your quote.
So if you don't know, once again, everyone, at the end of the call, we go through. Nic doesn't know the quote. I always find a quote that's relevant to our topic, and it was very easy for me to find this today. There are two kinds of people, those who do the work and those who take the credit. Try to be in the first group. There is less competition there.
Oh, I do love that one. That's super cool.
Even when we speak about this event, like there's the conversation we have with all of the speakers and the organizers and everyone that was involved with women, everyone else that is involved with women. Oh my God, I'm having a stutter. Wealth. Let me just get me throat dry, the throat wet. Everyone that is involved with Women, Wine and Wealth, we were on a call and we spoke about this the other day. So I just felt this quote was so fitting with what we spoke about now and what's to come. What did you take from the quote, Nic? What got you?
The words that come up for me is that your contribution, even if silent, is always going to be bigger and more important than the credit. Always. And the credit will always come anyway. You know, and this is completely different, but I remember someone saying to me, and just put it in the same context, this coach said to me, he goes, imagine like a $50 note and each corner is a leg. So it's got 4 legs. And he's like, if you try and chase it, it's going to outrun you because you've only got 2 legs. So never try and chase something because it will always outrun you. Whereas if you just focus on why you're doing it and giving the value and giving more value and solving more problems and enhancing more customers, clients, audience experiences, it comes back. So
I love that. He didn't say $100 note. He wanted the 50.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that.Maybe I've got a money mindset problem there.
We will be back in 2 weeks. Mindset. To help us with that because we might not be there yet.
Yeah, tell us if anyone knows a great money mindset person.
Guru, yeah.
We're always open to chatting with those cool kids.
Yeah.
So let's wrap this up. So that finalizes another episode of The Spill. We are going to be back in 2 weeks, as we always are, which the date will be April the 28th. Lock it in your diary. And make sure just drop what you loved, what you took away, even if it was nothing. Maybe just drop ...
Like,
and you will get the point.